Hey, Danny and Mike listeners, before we get to the episode today, I wanted to ask a favor. Our new network, the Last Podcast Network, is doing a survey which will in turn improve the content that you hear. It only takes a minute, it's all confidential, and it's just some questions about your listening habits. You can find the link in our description of this very episode.
The world was so big, and I was so small. Your voice was always the loudest of all.
Gentlemen, we're back in the van. We are back in the van. Doing the 90's night
in the van
with Danny and Mike on the road.
Hello.
Hey,
Oh, Mike,
there he
you
is.
are here.
Hello.
Hi there.
Hello. Gentlemen, this is a decent sounding road. We've been on some bumpy ones. We've been on some road construction ones last time.
We've been on some extremely slow ones trying to
True.
get out of New York City.
True.
Oh, let's not rehash that, man. That was my blood pressure went up a lot.
My God, I've never seen you toss a phone so many times.
I did. I get mad at my phone that I
Cursing out
can't
an
control.
international corporation.
Right. With no... What is it? No
Obligation
regard
to
for your phone? Yeah.
With no roots, because
Yes.
my home
There you
was
go.
never
Yep.
on the ground.
Yes.
Whoa.
Got no roots.
Shout out to Matthew.
There are
let's-
just some times when you're trying to leave New York City, and I know I do it all the time, and
It's called
well aware of what happens on a Friday.
It's called
Trying
escape
to leave the
velocity.
city after 2:00. What upset me the most was that Wade sent me through New Jersey to take me. I was thinking to Wilmington instead of stringing me along the other side of the river just to go back over into Staten Island when we started in Brooklyn, and that
Burns your ass.
really
yes.
sent me into
First
a
you
tizzy.
say you do, and then you don't. Then you say you will, and then you won't.
Well, let's get this started, gentlemen. Welcome to the Adventures of Danny and Mike. In front of me, Mr. Michael C. Marotta.
Beep, beep.
To his left, Mr. Danny Tamborelli. That's a horn honk for the listener.
Starting shit on the highway just for you folks.
And I'm Jeremy. Thank you so much for tuning in. We do appreciate it. Gentlemen,
Hi.
We kind of had two day ones to this tour. There was day one where you broke your foot.
Correct.
And then there was day one.
Let's get on the road.
There was
Right.
day one, part two, Let's Get on the Road, Friday, when we decided to head to Wilmington. Unfortunately, everyone else decided to head to Wilmington a couple of hours before us and to drive really crazy on the way there, so that there were several traffic incidents, to the point where I had promised some of our supporters earlier in the month, while building up
What have you been calling them? Podheads?
the pod heads.
Right.
Please feel free to let us know at 347 470-8150.
Oh, that's close. That's I think that's
Wow.
pretty close. 347-470-8150.
That's what I said.
That's pretty great, Mike. It's a great memory. That's a very good display of your.
Everybody used to
Tortoise-like
memorize their own
memory.
phone number. This is not a big thing.
It's true. Yeah.
Or your mom's.
I still remember my childhood number. But
Exactly.
I
I
I still
remember
have.
your mom's phone number.
I remember your mom's phone number too, Dan, and your mom gave it to me.
I couldn't tell you either one of your phone numbers right now, and I've called you both several times.
It's okay.
Yeah.
The prediction that I made while bigging up the Danny and Mike 2018 Great Lakes, Ohio Valley, Maumee River Tour was face painters, 3 floors of phloem,
Yep. None of those have transpired as of late.
knife throwers, jugglers, unicyclists, and the actual Bayonne Bridge. And imagine my delight and Danny's chagrin when we had to, according to the dictates of a popular GPS SavNat program, ways that we would take the actual Bayonne Bridge in the opposite direction we wanted to go to get to Wilmington, Delaware.
Yeah, it was not cool, man.
It was a stressful way to start. But
And it's my own fault for stressing myself out like that because I can't control it. But it doesn't make me feel any better knowing that. In fact, that probably makes it worse that I can't control it.
we were massaging you. We
didn't,
your
however,
ego,
try saying
we
the
were-
Serenity Prayer, which might have helped.
Yeah. We did some chanting.
Just hearing Dan's reasoning right there.
We also took chantix.
You guys told me to let it go, and you said it a couple times. And I believe the phrase was, do what they do in Frozen. And I said, I haven't seen that yet.
And they said, curse and throw your vape pen somewhere so you can't find it.
Also make the narrative very tight so that the kids don't tune out midway.
Also make Jordan Peterson cry because Disney movies challenge the patriarchy.
Ooh. That's from a Nickelodeon alum. You know what my favorite part about that Wilmington spot was the games.
Bar 1984 was so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much for having us.
Yeah.
There were some cool customers in there, and they made us feel very welcome. Thanks, Ed and Katie.
I played some skee ball for the first time in a long time.
Yeah, I lost some skee ball for...
Oh, I didn't
won.
win.
No,
I did not
won.
win.
I won. You lost. I thought that would be right in your wheelhouse because it's kind of like a netherworld cornhole. Or maybe cornhole is netherworld skee ball. Anyway, let us know what you think at 347-470-8150. Danny and Mike voicemail. We love hearing from you, whether by voice or online.
How many times did you think we got gifts or texts or messages with the Wayne's World? We're in Delaware.
Oh, I had
Several, right?
I had 6 or 7
Yeah,
alone.
I sent one.
Oh, you sent one.
I sent several.
Yeah.
I'm the one who puts it out there in the world.
But we didn't make any reference to it on stage
At the
because
show?
that would be wrong.
No, we didn't do that.
No. I'm glad we didn't.
It was a lot of fun. I'll remember that they had a few good machines. I got my butt kicked on Street Fighter 2 Turbo right away. Didn't even bother trying again. Beat Chun-Li, I think.
Ooh.
Maybe got beaten by Chun-Li right away. And then somebody had a hang-on machine with the actual handlebars there, and it just really looked like they were making love to the machine.
Well,
Someone was crushing Tapper, which is
crushing Tapper, which is tough to crush.
Very, very hard to do.
the person, I was at the merch table, and the person beside me was playing that game with the handle. And at some point,
With the handle?
What you were just talking about, the racing game, the motorcycle game or whatever. Or steering wheel, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And at some point, I just heard him say, "I just ran over your corpse."
No, that was a different one. I was talking about a guy on the other side of the bar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he looked like he had his dick stuck in the coin slot. Honestly,
Oh my
much
God.
like a story of Jeremy's from Ohio
What does that mean?
in Dayton.
I don't know what that means.
Oh no, the
Oh, I still don't know what that means. Mike's pointing to my broken foot, and
No, I'm just pointing at the coin slot.
oh, right. I had told a story on the podcast a long time ago about going to a. I guess it's not a strip club. What do they call it? It was just
It's a peep show.
A peep show. There you go. And I was young and dumb and
it's a little peeper show.
I didn't have any money, and we walked in, about 4 of us, and this window came up, and the lady kept pointing at the hole, and I just thought to myself, I'm not that kind of guy. I'm not gonna, I learned from Mr. Show, don't put your dick in this hole. Anyway, she was wanting money. She didn't care about my dick. So, but that was my Michael's word. The good thing, sort of about Delaware is I did get to elevate my foot a lot. That was a plus.
Good change for you as vis-a-vis bruising and fluid pressure in your lower extremities.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, you were fresh off the urgent care.
At that point, probably
Finally
a bit,
saying, "Ooh, yeah, you definitely broke it, and you should definitely stay off it."
probably a bit full of yourself at that point, but
We
still
take
with
the
a
5th metatarsal very seriously.
quite
Yes.
seriously
That
here
was,
here at urgent care.
A direct quote from the urgent care. But yeah, they got me all stitched up or bandaged up, and
I gave you one other opportunity to bow out gracefully.
That's true. Yeah, there was a point in that I would have gotten through one show and called it a day.
I
called it a
woke
tour.
up. I woke up after Amityville. It was like, man, that kicked ass. Everything was so great. Everyone was so nice. And Jeremy's so fucked up. Maybe we could just call it a day. But I was just thinking that for a second, and then thought, Let's go. My
Hell
bag's
no.
my bag's packed, and I
America.
already took the time off from work.
Right.
So suck it up, JB,
Yeah,
and let's do
I
this.
didn't have to psych him up at all. He showed up with his orthopedic shoe,
Yep.
and off we went. After Dan finally found my apartment after McGinnis Boulevard was closed.
True.
For Driggs Avenue was closed at McGinnis Boulevard for a brief.
That was
Yeah,
the
that's what I
beginning
mean.
of the
It was
madness.
just a nonstop. It was a nonstop.
It was a complicated series of
traffic
events that just
fuck stick for 4 hours. It should
Yeah.
take 2 hours and
we
35 minutes.
We
to
made
get
it to
there.
Delaware with snacks. I think we had all brought snacks.
Yeah.
I was still trying to push my grapes and blueberries on you boys.
Right. We had to.
That's not a metaphor.
Return
I
those
brought,
to
I
the
brought
earth.
fruit. I brought
no,
fruit.
I know you did. I know you did. I didn't get to play any video games. They had Area 51 there, which was kind of my jam back in the day.
Did it hold
But
up or
didn't
no?
know. I didn't get to play it.
Oh, you
I
didn't
didn't
get
get
to
to play it. I was too busy. The only thing I played was skee ball and the Chinese food place that was 2 doors down, because that's what I had for dinner.
Yeah, it was good.
Which I
Thanks.
don't know. It was sketchy strip mall Chinese food. Could have been a bad choice.
But according to people in Delaware, it's good. So does that mean that it's like it's a Delaware good? Does that mean it's like a human bad? Because we love the people who live in Delaware are Americans, just like us. They happen to live on a peninsula, cut off from the rest of humanity. They're just like us,
That's
you know,
right.
but
That's
just
right.
isolated, like like the Yanomami, and it's like very.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I don't know. I had a lot of fun in Maryland. I don't, even though my foot was throbbing and I was elevating and trying to rest it. And you guys, I think the show was great. The people came out. It was really great. A fun time. And yeah, 1984 Up Bar. Give a shout out to them. Go look them
Wasn't bad at all.
up. Right.
And I had a beer there. I've been drinking some like sour, low alcohol beers.
Low octane beers for Michael C.
Low alcohol.
Mm.
I remain high energy. If you're looking about running against me in 2018, I retain popular support. I was drinking a low bitterness, low alcohol beer called Beach Juice that day.
Ooh.
I was drinking beach juice. And Dan looked it up and he said, it gets bad ratings, but I don't give a shit. Tastes good. So I wasn't trying
I
to
don't
get...
go by that. I go
wasn't
by
trying
if
to
it
get
tastes good or not.
I
And
wasn't
if
trying to get
sometimes it tastes
wasted.
good and it's
Yeah.
got a bad rating. What can I do about that?
I had a good time that night. Met some very nice people. Extremely nice people.
Yeah.
Super nice nerds. And the staff there was cool. And we experimented with merch that night as far as... did we try to sell Jeremy's other shoe that he broke his foot in? The shoe he was wearing when he broke his foot?
We should have done that.
Anyway, we could still do that.
I've been thinking about that shoe. I thought about it all night.
Shoe, really big shoe,
Really big shoe.
shoe.
They're
Can you not wear it anymore? Because
no,
of
no,
like
no.
bad luck, you got to get rid of your
No,
shoes now.
it's like a fly knit shoe, so the whole top of it is just fabric. And I think that was, I'm not blaming it on fly knit shoes.
Oh no, I think Nike's got deep pockets, and we can definitely afford to sue them right now, as long as you don't make it about the flag,
But
which it is not about.
I feel like there was no support and it just turned and it was.
Sounds like you got a lawsuit, my friend.
Yeah,
Let's
I'm
move
working
on.
on it. I need some representation if you guys are free. But yeah, and then after that, let's lump in Columbus, right? We
yeah, well,
we got on
have
the
a
road
lot.
again.
That's a good haul. That's a good haul, Delaware to Columbus, Ohio.
That was the longest haul.
So far, yes, the longest haul, the longest of all hauls.
That's
Haul. I called the hall and they said this is long haul. We'll break. Never mind. We went all the way through Pennsylvania, barely without stopping.
Barely without
I'm
stopping,
surprised
but
you got-
with plenty of birds of prey. There were no birds of prey really between
Oh,
New
Lord.
York and Wilmington.
It seemed
but
like they were all
man,
hanging out. Yeah.
We had one encounter that I swear, I'd never seen Mike so happy
and
in
Dan so
my whole
shook to
life.
the bones at the
Yeah,
same time.
well, this bird of prey was coming in real hot, and I thought I was going to hit him because he was like flying low, and I could just see him, and I was like, his trajectory and my trajectory are going to meet, and I'm going to kill this beautiful. Oh my God, he flew over us. We got a beautiful shot of his whole underbelly.
Oh,
It was
what,
it was,
freckles?
it was
Inside.
like a straight buzz. He like buzzed
He buzzed us
the van
Yeah.
real good.
like Maverick.
Yeah.
And
It was a window rattler.
I turned to Michael and I said, I guess it's going to be a good day for you.
And what do you know? That night, we met a Bird of Prey fan who had come from Renaissance Fair that day. Shout out to nerds everywhere. And I just think that's got to be the hardest bartending job there is in the world. Bartending at Renaissance Fair.
Yeah, you spoke to her for a very long time.
Yeah, she showed us pictures.
Videos.
She showed us pictures of her holding a hawk. And when I told somebody else the picture about that, they're like, "What? Holding a dead hawk? No, a live hawk at Renaissance Fair."
Yeah, I looked at it and said, "Cool, it's a picture," and I moved on.
Looked closer.
No, I didn't look. I just said, "Oh, I can see that's a bird, and you're holding him." Okay, bye.
Oh well, birds of prey are awesome, and
sure they are.
And you never get enough of them. Let's face it. They're always circling in the skies.
I get enough of being in a silent van, driving, protecting the brand and the people involved, and then hearing bird of prey and scaring me and causing me to swerve a little bit.
You mean rousing you back to alertness from the silent stupor of the road,
the monotony of the road. Yeah.
I get it.
Just trying to help you.
Yeah.
Well, in that case, then thank you.
No problem. I would also point out that this cloud up here looks like a pear.
Or a bird of prey, I guess, if you look at it.
Okay. Yeah. Oh no, totally.
Yeah.
For the listener, we won't take a picture of it, but you can imagine what it would look like.
It looks like
it was.
total bird of prey.
Right. One thing about Columbus, first show that we've ever done together that my mother attended.
Also, first show that I was very happy to meet your family. Yeah. First show we've ever done in a burlesque joint.
That's true.
Not my first time.
Bossy Girls pinup action.
We've talked about Bossy Girls before.
Absolutely. Yeah, we tried to get load in a little early, and they were doing some sort of
they're doing a sip and paint nude modeling, so we were not allowed to.
Yeah, we weren't allowed to.
And we went down the street and had some very delicious Hound Dogs Pizza joint. Hound Dogs Pizza,
that's right.
This is like the beginning of the little stint that Jeremy gets to show us his old
Flex's
Ohio stomping grounds.
This is true. Yeah, I lived there for quite a while, and Hound Dogs was one of my go-tos. So, I got to see my mom. So what's better than that, y'all?
Yeah,
those dollar scooters that you could get and zip around on, which I think is a bad idea.
I think it's a dangerous idea,
particularly in a college town setting with people drinking and using motorized scooters that cost $1 that you find in your friend's couch when you slept on it the night before.
Wait,
and you're like, sweet, I can go.
You find the scooter or you find the dollar?
No, you find the loose change that makes up $1.
I think, some people might go to bed drunk and bring the scooter inside with them.
I believe that happens too.
I'm sure.
I'm just saying, like, I like the idea, but I think it's
you like it on paper.
I think it's more hassle than it's worth.
You like it on paper, but scooters are not ridden on paper. They're ridden all over the streets. Yeah,
asphalt,
exactly.
Sometimes on the dirt.
On toes.
Running over people.
Yeah.
When Marla and I went out west, they were littered. L.A. is just littered with those things now. It's insane. They're getting complaints out the wazoo.
Up the wazoo.
Up and out.
Well, it's one or the other. It's one or the other.
Yeah,
it's
one
just
or the
a
other.
river. It goes,
It's one or the other.
Okay. Anyway, they're complaining about it, and somebody had stolen one and taken it to New York City. So somebody had saw it posted in there. But the weird thing to me, I find it weird that they pick them up every night. In Los Angeles, they have people in these rented, vans that come and pick them up, and they charge them and then drop them off again, which seems like a complete waste of energy and resources, especially if it should be like...
If people just litter them everywhere, what do? They have to drive down the street?
They track them down, yeah.
It sounds like the Range Mobile in Range Boy picking up all the golf balls by driving all over the driving range.
There you go.
Is that crazy?
It's valid. It's valid. I think I saw that one. But yeah, Columbus was great.
Yeah, Columbus kicked ass.
Had a very good time.
The show was great. The crowd was really cool. We met some really nice people afterwards and beforehand, actually, too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Took some nice pictures, and of course, there was the bird of prey.
Oh boy.
Yep. Your bird of prey that got us through the evening.
I've never seen Lady Hawk. Have you seen that movie?
No.
I'm gonna might want to look it up.
I will tell
everybody
you
at home
that it was very hot in Bossy Girls, and because I had previously played there before,
You knew.
I knew where the vent was on stage,
And
so I
positioned
basically
yourself
positioned myself
under
in
it.
a place where I hogged all of the AC.
Yeah, I noticed. Don't think I didn't notice.
Well, that's my dirty secret.
Wow. Oh, we're doing dirty secrets.
No dirty secrets.
Okay. All right. What else, gents? What did? Let's see. We got on the road after that, but yeah, I don't know if I guess we'll save that for another.
No, I would say that
sexy episode.
we were just punished by the length and depth of the Pennsylvania Turnpike and its absolute boringness.
It's very boring, but it is 70-mile-an-hour road in Pennsylvania, which is nice. It means you can get there a little quicker.
Yeah.
Get where?
It's the only thing.
Oh, Columbus.
To Ohio.
Right.
Yeah.
Ohio was fun. Kicked ass.
But I couldn't get them to eat Cincinnati chili because
We were in Columbus. Where was there
Yeah.
Cincinnati chili?
everywhere.
That would be
It's
impossible,
Ohio.
Dave.
Sorry, I
to
only
do.
want to eat Cincinnati chili in Cincinnati.
Exactly.
You
And
get
that
your
is
priorities all
that
mixed
is yet
up.
to come on an upcoming episode of
That's correct.
The Adventures
Stay
of Danny and Mike.
tuned.
That's right. Well, thanks. Any final thoughts? Anything, fellas? Big thanks to Bossy Girls.
Yeah, thanks to Bossy Girls. Thanks to
1984
Arcade 1984. And
1984
don't have,
Wilmington kick-ass.
look, if you're out there driving right now and somebody's upsetting you and you're starting to get angry, just let it go, man.
Yeah,
It's not worth it.
do not throw your vape
It's
pen
not
so
worth
breaks.
turning. It's not worth turning your ears red or purple.
Yeah.
because you're getting so
Because you're a
upset.
Sesame Street character now.
No, because that's what happens when I get high blood pressure. My ears go.
For all of
Daniel,
that.
I know you're
upset. Your ears are turning
Yeah, my mom used to say that all the time. Who knows if it's true or not? But I believed it.
I
I
had to
drank
get
her
out of
Kool-Aid.
I had to get out of the pool because my lips were turning blue. I was never about anger.
Ooh, yeah. No, very different things.
Yeah.
I got so angry once. This is a true story. I got so angry once I gave myself a nosebleed.
Oh yeah.
True story.
Funny story.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Well, that's the whole thing. Was
But there's no reason for it.
Were you snorting?
Yeah.
No, I was like 14 years old. I was not
No. I mean,
thinking,
just like
even
not
thinking
drugs.
about partaking
No,
in
not
drugs.
drugs. I mean, just like
just
snorting, like heavily exhaling, heavily breathing.
Oh, I don't know.
Were you
I don't
panting?
remember.
Were you panting?
that's how you get angry, right?
That's from the Marx Brothers. He tells Harpo to get tough with one guy and get tough with the other guy. And he now get tough with both of them.
I have to say though, after that, getting out of New York garbage, it's calmed down tremendously.
Yeah, it's been
and
smooth sailing. I
you're-
actually attribute it to both of you telling me to
I mean,
take
you're
a chill pill.
such a healthy guy these days.
I
like
know.
that is very
I know.
unhealthy
The
to
stress
hold
is
that
very
shit in.
unhealthy.
And,
Stress is way bad for you.
Yeah,
and
so-
the only other thing you can do is if there's a woman or a man, anyone who's driving next to you who really wants to cut you off, but there's nowhere to go in the left lane. If you're a decent driver, you can really mess with those people.
You can extend the joke for miles and
It was
miles and miles.
miles and miles of New Jersey Turnpike joking, which I wasn't upset about it anymore and stressed out, but I was inducing road rage on somebody else, so I was paying it forward.
Once we became, once we held the high ground, Obi-Wan, it was pretty simple for Dan to keep her in the frustration zone for the next 85 mile per hour burst that we experienced from like all the way down to Huntington or what's that other thing? Cape
It's the little
Flower.
things in
Canaveral.
life,
Yeah.
The little petty things in
little
life.
petty
with-
things in life that get you through things. I was so angry and mad at Waze and all this traffic.
And you took it out.
I'm beating the shit out of...
Wow.
Yeah, didn't mean it like that.
Yeah, take it
Boy,
easy, buddy.
Take it easy.
Yeah.
well, I think we've all learned a valuable lesson on this, thanks to Danny's
Road rage.
stress and road rage. Yes. If
it
you want
go.
to help with that road rage, you know what makes him happy? Donate on Patreon. Patreon.com/ Danny and Mike with the and spelled out. And also check us out on the Last Podcast Network, lastpodcastnetwork.com. They have amazing podcasts. Let's see. The guy to my left up here is at Danny Tamborelli on the Instagram, at dtamborelli on the Twitters. This gentleman in front of me here is at Michael C. Morona on the Twitters, and I'm at Remy Balin. Give us a shout. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for coming out to all the tour stuff.
At Danny and Mike with the and spelled out.
There we go.
Bird of prey!
The Adventures of Danny and Mike stars Danny Tamborelli and Michael C. Morona. The show is produced by me, Jeremy Balin. It's podcast is part of the Last Podcast Network, which can be found at lastpodcastnetwork.com. Make sure to check that out for a ton of great shows. For more information on the guys, visit our website at dannyandmike.com. Also, look us up on Twitter at Danny and Mike with the N spelled out, and on Facebook at facebook.com/The Adventures of Danny and Mike. Thanks for listening.